language in this that protects jurisdiction. And to me, without your jurisdiction, you have nothing. Paying taxes means you are handing jurisdiction over to the nation state. So I think those are all mechanisms that are still colonial mechanisms. And unless there can be transformations completely in this process, we have really severe problems. First of all, why are these documents not written in our languages? Why are the meanings for both the colonial meanings of words and our Anishinaabe meanings of words actually listed together and side by side so we can see if there's differences in meaning? Because without that, I don't see how you can have any sort of documents that can be fully consensual. There is nothing in this deal right now at all that talks about any sort of revenue sharing for any of the resources that are on the land. So there is no like stumpage fees or anything for any extraction from the land. It is a final deal. The other thing that's very disturbing, and this is part of the land claim policy, is that we sign off any abilities to actually sue the government should they have do anything incorrect. Chimigwech, thank you very much. Should we have any grievances after the deal is signed? So we basically give them indemnity forever and ever. Amen. You would assume if you were a status Indian under the Indian Act on reserve that you would just automatically be consulted and voted and have the right to vote. You had to actually, and it was several years ago, you had to actually enroll to vote. So I would say there's about 500 to 600 people that are at Pikwaknagong that are allowed to vote right now for this AIP. The other 1,100 or 1,000 wouldn't be allowed to vote right now. So those are issues that have to do with systemics and administration, but those are significant issues. There's no need for that. There should be an enrollment process, should be ongoing and should be structured, but then there's problems internally with the nation in terms of who the beneficiaries, which is another word I find deeply problematic. The language in these documents are deeply problematic. They're based on the nation state's gaze. So they turn something like inherent rights and original title into beneficiary, and we all know beneficiary is insurance language. So insurance language means, and we start to then see it as, oh, people are getting benefits versus getting what is inherently theirs and should always be theirs. Also, the Chilcotin decision, I think, has changed some things, and our AIP was written before the Chilcotin decision. So all of those things matter in terms of where we would place our position now. And one of my inherent questions is, why is it the government of Canada, not the entity that comes forward with the proposal, and then it's the Anishinaabe that say yay or nay or whatever? Why are we coerced into putting forward an agreement in principle in the first place? It doesn't make sense. And nothing makes sense if you hold original title to be loaned money. Nothing. It makes no sense to be loaned anything in those circumstances if you already hold original title. To me, I consider this to be the biggest legalized, I'm going to say legalized, money laundering scheme I've ever seen.